Welcome back to Vibra Finance. Today, we're going to talk about a project that I've been doing some research on that fits one of the most popular narratives right now, and that's real world assets. And that project is Defactor. So, if you're not familiar, Defactor is on Ethereum and Polygon, and they are providing tools and infrastructure for real world asset tokenization at scale. So we all know that Larry Fink has been talking about tokenization now for a while. This article was back in March 16, 2023. And he says here that BlackRock continues to explore digital assets with a special focus on aspects that would drive the most value to clients, like permissionless blockchains and tokenization of stocks and bonds. So this was from 2023 in the middle of the bear market, and he was already dropping signs of it, saying he believes the next generation for markets and the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. He acknowledged that participating in digital assets doesn't come without risks and said there's a clear need for regulation in the market as it is yet to fully mature. And now we come for full circle to a year later. Institutional digital assets. The future of finance is here. Tokenization initiatives from BlackRock, JP Morgan, and others presage a revolution in payments, wealth management, and other key activities of Wall Street. So, guys, it's happening right now. And I think the last thing we need here in the United States is legislation. And once that happens, I think the fireworks are going to start to erupt. So back to Defactor. I really like what these guys are doing. TradFi faces barriers, limiting access and hindering global participation. Well, Defactor, they help unlock a new financial future with a comprehensive, decentralized real-world asset toolkit for tokenization. We support you on your real-world asset journey from creation, issuance, to monitoring and reporting. So they have the FACTR token, obviously, all has staking. There's 45 million coins staked, which right now is over a third of the circulating supply, which is pretty impressive. And they have the Engage is part of their toolkit here, which is the community engagement and insights tool. And that allows users to staking, earn yield, participate in various programs, helps you provide valuable insights into tokenomics, performance, and the network it operates on. It helps manage governments, allow your community to be part of decision making. They can exercise their voting rights and have a say in the future of your ecosystem. Through Engage, you can run a robust governance framework and potentially even a DAO. And holders like that when they feel like they have the ability to influence and change projects for the good. Also, they have bounties in here and grants. That's something I really like. The allow grant applications to turn community ideas into reality and make a positive impact on your ecosystem. Whether they're building new technologies or executing specific activities, offer support to their initiatives and encourage innovation. So I like that. So that's the Engage part. And then they have the pools, which is obviously their lending and borrowing. So Defactor provides businesses and projects the ability to lock their assets and access liquidity by creating lending campaigns in a decentralized fashion through a custom white label platform. So they can help different solutions, whether if you're trying to tokenize, some real estate apartments, or you're trying to tokenize community you have. They have different options through this white labeling platform. And right now, the active pools are the Oris T Gold lending pool, where each token is backed by 1-to-1 with a gram of gold. And I think there's like $52,000 right now that is active in this pool. You can earn 10% on the gold. So this is just a start. This is how things are going to start changing from the real world, from the things we're used to, with the banks and brokers, that's all changing to where we can do lending between ourselves with smart contracts. It gets rid of the middlemen. It reduces a bunch of friction and makes things better, less fees, more accessible. So it's just all around benefits the everyday person. It's not just a consolidation of power where, people can have control over who gets loaned money if you don't meet the certain qualifications. Well, that doesn't happen in a smart contract. If you have the money to put up, you have that collateral, you can create a loan. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So the last part about the toolkit here is the assets token creation tool. And that this helps here for increasing liquidity. Traditional ownership of physical assets, such as real estate, art, or commodities, can be extremely illiquid. Tokenizing these assets makes it possible to divide them into smaller, more affordable and tradable fractions. Sorry, tongue twister there. So if you have a house or an apartment, so you have a 4-unit apartment and it makes $4,000 a month. Well, you as the owner, you're the one owner. You can sell it to another person. Well, with fractionizing the ownership of that, you could say, all right, I'm going to take my property and it's worth $1,000,000. I'm going to make $10,000 fractions. And that way 100 people can now own that property. And then if it makes, $48,000 a year, that's 4.8%. That means you split that up between each of the 100 holders. And this is how things are going to be done in the future, guys. And this is why these opportunities are so great right now, being early before these projects start to blow up and get all the mainstream attention and the influencers, and money comes pouring into them and inflates them due to speculation and hype. These assets should be appreciated based on the utility they provide. And that's the day that I'm waiting for. And we're so close to that. Tokenization opens up investment opportunities to a broader audience, including smaller investors who may not have had access to such assets before. Tokenization can democratize access to a variety of asset classes, promoting financial inclusion and diversification in your investment portfolio. Then also greater efficiency and transparency. And then they have their ebook here. If it's something you're interested in, if you have condos or other assets that can be tokenized, you can download the PDF there and get started. So one thing that I really did like about Defactor is the circulating supply and the token burns. They've had a couple token burns already, and there's wow, I misspoke. 45 million was staked. We're now over 62.7 million staked. So this is well over 50% of the circulating supply is locked up, earning interest on Polygon and ETH, but it looks like a majority of it is on ETH. So you have a couple options there. If you want to save the gas fees, use Polygon. If you don't mind Ethereum, it's always going to be there. So Defactor, 300 million token supply, and there's 111 out right now. So there's obviously more coming out over the next couple of years, but that's what the burns are for. That's what staking is for, to help alleviate that. And they got a huge Gate.io listing earlier in March. So obviously, what the effect of a listing, what that does, the price almost 4x'd in a week, and then obviously that comes back down. We're gonna kind of chop sideways, and then hopefully start breaking up to make a newer high. It should be kind of flagging out over the month. There we go. So kind of trending down, but we're gonna pop here anytime in the next couple weeks. Bitcoin makes a new all-time high. All the altcoins are going to start pumping. So Defactor is one of these low market cap gems, only $36.98 million right now. So you got to love that. And that's actually, I think, a little bit off, because we know there's only 111 circulating. So I think that market cap is probably a third of this. So maybe 13, 14 million right now. So huge opportunity in Defactor, fits the narrative that is so hot right now with real world assets, tokenization of assets. And I feel like it's one that's just flying under the radar. So if you haven't heard of Defactor, check them out on Twitter. Defactor.com is the website there. And that's all I got today. Appreciate you stopping by, and we will see you on the next one.